Samuel Johnson once said, "To be happy at home is the ultimate result of all ambition." And honestly, he was bang on the money. We all want a gaff where the locals actually say good morning, where your commute doesn't make you want to pull your hair out, and where the local pub serves a decent pint. I've researched everything, the property markets and the real community vibes, to bring you the genuine lowdown on the 10 happiest towns in the UK. Whether you're looking to escape the concrete jungle or just fancy a nosy at where the grass is genuinely greener, this isn't your standard tourist fluff. This is the real meaty info you need. Let's get stuck right in. Starting with the absolute happiest place in the UK for both 2025 and 2026 by the Rightmove Happy at Home Index, Skipton in North Yorkshire is a proper northern powerhouse that perfectly balances rural tranquility with a cracking local economy. Known affectionately as the gateway to the Dales, this spot is a masterclass in avoiding the trap of becoming just another hollowed-out commuter village. It's anchored massively by the Skipton Building Society, which injects brilliant professional jobs straight into the town via its headquarters and an 82-branch network. This means you can literally swap a miserable city slog for a breezy lunchtime stroll along the narrowboat-lined Leeds and Liverpool Canal. The property market here is incredibly active, but dead accessible, with average asking prices sitting at a very reasonable £326,093 and monthly rents hovering around £1,038. Families are absolutely flocking here for the top-tier state schools like Ermisted's Grammar School and Skipton Girls' High School, which funnel kids into great unis without the eye-watering private fees. Plus, if you fancy a proper feed, locals absolutely swear by places like Dale's Pottage Cafe and Grill down on Rope Walk for a smashing traditional roast or a hearty jacket spud. Add in the looming presence of the immaculate 12th century Skipton Castle, dead easy transport links to Leeds and Bradford, and the Yorkshire Dales literally on your doorstep, and you've got a town that genuinely delivers a brilliant, unpretentious quality of life. Moving down south to Greater London, if you've got the cash splashing around, Richmond-upon-Thames is an absolute blinder of a spot, taking the National Silver Medal for happiness and consistently ranking as the capital's most cheerful borough. This is emphatically not the gritty, concrete-heavy London you might picture. Instead, it's a posh, leafy sanctuary boasting 2,500 acres of royal parkland where herds of deer roam free, right next to the world-renowned Kew Gardens. The vibe here is unapologetically premium, perfectly captured by local institutions like Petersham Nurseries, which house a brilliant green Michelin star, battered zinc tables, and an organic vibe right on a bare dirt floor. Naturally, buying into this idyllic riverside lifestyle requires a spectacular premium, with the overall average asking price sitting at an eye-watering £942,522 and monthly rents averaging £3,189. If you're a first-time buyer, you're looking at dropping roughly £626,000 just to get your foot in the door, whilst posh detached residences easily fetch over £1.79 million. Despite a slight recent dip in house prices, the market remains ridiculously resilient because the infrastructure is absolutely top-notch. You've got direct commuter routes via the District Line, National Rail and Overground straight from Richmond Station, meaning executives can smash out their city careers and retreat to a scenic bolt hole that inspired J.M.W. Turner and served as the relentlessly sunny backdrop for Ted Lasso. It's the ultimate geographic cheat code for affluent professionals. Over in Suffolk, for those whose idea of happiness involves the smell of salt marsh and messing about on boats, Woodbridge is an absolute cracker of a coastal town. Crowned the outright happiest place in 2024 and sitting comfortably at 5th in 2025, this highly cultured gem is draped elegantly along the tidal River Deben. History here is massive. Just across the water sits Sutton Hoo, the sprawling 255-acre National Trust site where the legendary 7th century Anglo-Saxon ship burial was dug up. The town's own quayside features a brilliant Grade 1 listed tide mill that has been relentlessly grinding away since 1170. Yet it feels incredibly vibrant and modern, largely thanks to a heavily engaged foodie scene that includes the incredible Two Magpies Bakery and the Unruly Pig just down the road, which holds a Michelin Bib Gourmand. The property market reflects this premium maritime lifestyle, with an impressive 68% owner occupancy rate, proving people put down proper roots here. Average asking prices sit at £462,734, with rents around £1,309, putting it noticeably above the wider East Suffolk average. Families are drawn in by stellar education options like the prestigious independent Woodbridge School, where over 70% of A-level grades. It effortlessly blends a relaxed, sophisticated coastal pace with an intellect and vibrancy that keeps the town from ever feeling like a sleepy retirement backwater. Up in Greater Manchester, the story of Altrincham is arguably one of the most compelling urban regeneration stories in modern Britain, showing exactly how a town can pull itself up by its bootstraps. Back in 2010, this place was officially branded a depressing ghost town with massive high street vacancies, but today it ranks as the 6th happiest place nationally and the undisputed best in the Northwest. The absolute catalyst for this spectacular turnaround was the brilliant reimagining of its Grade 2 listed 1879 covered market by local operators Nick Johnson and Jenny Thompson. They completely overhauled the market house, turning it into a buzzing hub of independent regional food vendors that organically lured the community back into the centre and triggered massive private investment around the Stamford Quarter. Consequently, the property market has become ferociously competitive, with average asking prices hitting a hefty £643,244 and rents touching £2,968. What makes it absolutely irresistible to families, however, is Trafford's fiercely competitive grammar school system, combined with a dead-easy 20-minute Metrolink tram commute straight into central Manchester. It's classy, cool, and effortlessly comfortable, proving that a thriving independent food scene and solid public transport can literally rewrite a town's entire destiny. If you're looking to play the property game like an absolute mastermind up in Scotland, Stirling is a phenomenally smart move, securing its spot as the happiest place north of the border. Known historically as the gateway to the Highlands, its absolute secret weapon is its supreme geographic placement directly on the M9 and M80 motorways, giving you a blistering 40-minute drive into Glasgow and roughly an hour into Edinburgh. But it's the staggering property market delta that genuinely drives everyday happiness here. While average prices in the capital have skyrocketed past £310,000, Stirling's average asking price remains an incredibly accessible £226,547, with first-time buyers getting on the ladder for around £176,000 and monthly rents sitting at £1,208. This massive difference means young professionals can afford proper, spacious homes with gardens in leafy suburban villages like Bridge of Allen without sacrificing their city centre careers. But it's not just a commuter dormitory, it's a city of immense cinematic beauty. The skyline is utterly dominated by the imposing 16th-century Stirling castle and the soaring 67-metre National Wallace Monument. With top-tier local schools, a highly regarded university, and immediate access to the dramatic wilderness of the Trossachs, Stirling's residents get to enjoy a massive amount of disposable income and space, making it a completely unbeatable, pragmatic lifestyle choice.
Nestled precisely where the River Monnow meets the majestic River Wye, the historic Welsh border town of Monmouth is an idyllic, highly educated sanctuary that sits proudly as the happiest place in Wales. A massive driver of its deeply rooted community is its unparalleled educational infrastructure, most notably the prestigious Haberdashers' Monmouth Schools, which actively draws families from across the entire UK. This constant influx of engaged parents sustains a brilliantly vibrant high street along Monnow Street, packed with independent cafes and local retailers. Despite its profound rural seclusion right next to the Wye Valley and the Forest of Dean, it acts as a highly strategic commuter base. Using the A40 and A449, you can blast into Cardiff, Bristol and the Midlands dead easily. The property market offers incredible value compared to the home counties, with an overall average asking price of £320,974 and rents at £1,335. If you want a lovely detached family home, you're looking at around £433,265. The historical weight of the place is absolutely palpable. You can't miss the iconic 13th century Monnow Bridge, which is the only remaining fortified river bridge in Britain, featuring a defensive gate tower built from 7 different types of stone. It's also the birthplace of the legendary warrior King Henry V in 1387, making it a town where your kids get top-tier schooling against a backdrop of ancient castles and rushing rivers.
Down in Gloucestershire, Cirencester is often dubbed the capital of the Cotswolds, and it hits the top 10 by pulling off a remarkably tricky balancing act, preserving its ancient Roman wealth without becoming a soulless open-air museum for wealthy retirees. This place hums with a vibrant, forward-looking energy, anchored by an astonishing cultural output. You've got the award-winning Barn Theatre, which miraculously transformed from a 1940s Nissen hut into a state-of-the-art 200-seat auditorium staging West End quality productions, and a spectacular open-air pool fed by pure spring water heated to a balmy 80 degrees Fahrenheit. The property market commands a predictably high premium, with asking prices sitting at £472,999 and rents at £1,975, supported by a healthy 63% owner occupancy rate and the youthful buzz of 1,125 students at the Royal Agricultural University. But what truly secures its future happiness is the visionary Steddings development spearheaded by the Bathurst estate. Instead of generic, ugly suburban sprawl, they are intelligently integrating 2,350 beautifully designed homes alongside 100 acres of green space, new schools and healthcare hubs, with 30% strictly designated as affordable. By flawlessly fusing that classic butterscotch stone aesthetic with highly sustainable, progressive town planning, Cirencester proves that you don't have to sacrifice modern livability to live in one of the prettiest historic towns in the country. Tucked elegantly into the Tyne Valley, just south of Hadrian's Wall, the ridiculously charming market town of Hexham is an absolute triumph of rugged northern hospitality and is officially the happiest place in the northeast. The town's incredibly cosy, intellectual atmosphere is wonderfully encapsulated by spots like Cogito Books,
a beloved independent shop boasting 10,000 curated titles and comfy sofas that epitomizes the town's tight-knit personality. Architecturally, it's dominated by the magnificent 7th century Hexham Abbey, featuring an original Saxon crypt that grounds the town in living history. For a banging lunch, head over to Bouchon, which Gordon Ramsay literally named the best local French restaurant in the UK, or pop into the heart of Northumberland for a proper pint and hearty scran by an open fire. The financial realities here are immensely appealing. Average asking prices sit at £331,198, with notably low rental costs around £967. It caters exceptionally well to all ages, offering highly regarded schools for families, while older residents can snap up independent retirement flats at Abbey Court for around £112,000. Furthermore, it's a masterclass in regional connectivity. Regular trains whip you directly into central Newcastle in just 41 minutes, and the brilliant scenic AD 122 bus drops you right at the doorstep of the Roman frontier. It's the perfect intersection of independent retail, ancient history, and spectacular northern wilderness.
Perched brilliantly on the Essex coast, Leigh-on-Sea has successfully engineered a spectacular split personality, seamlessly blending the gritty authenticity of an ancient fishing village with the hyper-trendy chic demanded by relocating Londoners. Down at the water's edge in Old Leigh, you get a deeply romantic stroll past generations-old cockle sheds and historic seaside pubs, where dedicated locals take sunrise swims off Belwharf Beach. But hike up the hill to the Broadway and the vibe shifts entirely to a cosmopolitan artery packed with independent boutiques. You can grab a top-tier matcha and chill on a south-facing roof terrace at the Squeeze Cafe, or tuck into a proper massive afternoon tea with choco banana waffles at Stop the World Cafe. This exceptional, highly desirable lifestyle comes attached to a resilient property market, with average asking prices around £465,542 and monthly rents at £1,796. The absolute linchpin of its happiness, however, is the phenomenal sea-to-sea rail infrastructure. With trains departing every 15 minutes, residents can blast directly into London Fenchurch Street in a blistering 41 to 49 minutes. This sub-50-minute commute to the financial district ensures that young professionals and executives can command top-tier metropolitan salaries while retreating every single evening to a genuinely relaxed, community-focused coastal haven, making it the ultimate geographical life hack.
Down in the West Midlands, Stratford-upon-Avon achieves incredibly high community happiness despite welcoming a staggering 2.7 million global tourists annually, managing this paradox with remarkable strategic brilliance. It actively resists becoming a soulless theme park by investing heavily in its 31,000 actual residents. A prime example is the Royal Shakespeare Company, RSC, itself, which heavily engages local youth through its free digital curriculum outreach, bolstering the confidence and career prospects of local kids. Education here is steeped in mythical prestige, particularly the state-funded King Edward VI School, where Shakespeare himself was taught in the 1570s. It was recently named State Secondary School of the Decade. Securing a property in these catchments keeps the housing market incredibly buoyant, with average prices sitting solidly between £395,000 and £442,162, while first-time buyers enter around £307,000 and private rents hover at £1,132.
Beyond the famous theatres, the local economy is impressively diverse, with strong finance, IT and engineering sectors, meaning it isn't dangerously reliant solely on tourists buying fridge magnets. The daily lifestyle for locals is immensely charming, featuring a brilliant mix of traditional British pubs and weekly markets set against the tranquil, willow-draped banks of the River Avon. It gracefully shares its world-changing history with millions, while quietly and warmly nurturing a deeply supportive environment for the lucky folks who actually live there. So there you have it, mate. The absolute creme de la creme of UK living. Whether you're after the dramatic, wallet-friendly landscapes up in Scotland, a hyper-connected coastal retreat in Essex, or a ridiculously posh village vibe on the edge of London, these 10 towns prove that true happiness is all about finding a place that genuinely works for your daily routine. It's not just about pretty buildings, it's about good pubs, reliable trains, cracking schools, and neighbours who actually give a toss. Take your pick, pack your bags, and get ready for a proper upgrade.